There is a mystery behind the words of Napoleon Hill, a secret so powerful that he chose not to record in his books. He knew that some truths can only be understood by those who have already awakened the inner gaze. Therefore, he left signs, fragments, and subtle codes on every page of his work. Those who read with the common mind see only advice, but those who read with the awakened spirit find the true portal of transformation. Hill found that the power to create wealth, success, and destiny does not come only from positive thinking, but from the union of conscious mind, faith, and silent vibration. He understood that man is a transmitter of divine energy, and that by aligning with this frequency, all that is invisible becomes real. The secret was not money, nor success. It was the harmony with the creative power that inhabits every human being. This was the mystery he kept, that the human mind is the altar where God manifests the impossible. If this secret begins to awaken something inside you, stay with me. In the next block, I will reveal how Hill discovered this silent power. Napoleon Hill realized, after decades of interviewing men who seemed to touch the impossible, that there was something beyond logic that moved his achievements. They spoke of goals, strategies, and persistence, but there was a silent, invisible, and constant force in everyone, an inner vibration that precedes any result. Hill called it the infinite intelligence. He understood that human thought, when imbued with faith and true emotion, becomes a frequency capable of altering reality. The secret was in feeling before seeing, in believing before possessing. While the world searched for external formulas, Hill plunged into himself and found a power that is not explained, only experienced. He found that the universe responds not to words spoken, but to the energy emitted by the convinced heart. What you project in silence, the world echoes in events. This is the secret language of creation that Hill never fully revealed. If you want to understand how to turn thought into real power, go ahead with me. In the next block, I will reveal the exact moment when Hill understood the turning point of the human mind. Hill was alone, immersed in silence, when he understood the true turning point of the human mind. He had studied hundreds of successful men, but at that moment something transcended the intellect. He realized that all of them had at some point surrendered to absolute faith. Not religious faith, but the vibrant certainty that the invisible was working in his favor. It was then that Hill understood that thought is only the seed, and that faith is the fire that makes it germinate. He described this experience as a fellowship with the creative source, where fear disappears and purpose takes over. The mind in this state ceases to be an instrument of doubt and becomes a bridge between the human and the divine. That was the unwritten secret, the fusion of intellect and emotional faith. When these two come together, the universe bows before pure intention. Hill did not teach this openly because he knew few were ready to understand the power of creating with the spirit. If you feel that there is something in your mind waiting to wake up, go ahead. In the next block, I will reveal how Hill translated this revelation into a hidden method of manifestation. Hill never wrote this method in direct words, but left enough traces for the attentive to decipher it. He understood that the process of manifestation does not begin with desire, but with inner harmony. First, the mind must be silent, free from the voices of fear and haste. Then the desire must be shaped with true emotion, not want. The secret was simple and at the same time grand: to feel as if the result already existed. Emotion creates the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Thought is the command, the feeling, the energy that makes it real. Hill said that whoever controls this fusion rules his own destiny. When man believes with sufficient intensity, the universe rearranges its forces to meet this vibrational state. He does not ask, he aligns himself. This was the hidden method, to transform thought into frequency and frequency into reality. There is no magic in it. There is awakened consciousness. If you want to understand how to use this force to create the reality you want, come with me. In the next block, I will reveal the true role of faith in the process of mental creation. For Hill, faith was not a religious act. It was an invisible science. He described it as a mental force capable of transforming vibrations of thought into its equivalent physical form. Faith, according to him, was the element that converted the invisible into visible. It was not enough to want. You had to believe to eliminate all doubt. The human mind is like a fertile field. When fear is planted, it germinates in failure. When faith is cultivated, it blossoms into achievements. Hill understood that the universe does not respond to what you ask, but to what you believe is possible. That is why the great achievers seemed blessed. In fact, they were vibrating at the frequency of certainty. This faith does not force itself. It is born of the understanding that the Creator works through you. When consciousness recognizes this truth, the impossible becomes only a matter of time. Hill called it the state of creative certainty, the point where man becomes co-author of his own life. If you want to find out how to access this state of creative certainty, stay with me. In the next block, I will reveal the inner path that leads to connection with infinite intelligence. Hill believed that there is a supreme mind, an infinite intelligence that permeates all things. It is the source from which every idea, every inspiration, and every creative force emanate. The common man lives disconnected from it because he is stuck to the noise of the world, to the voices of fear, comparison, and doubt. But the one who silences, the one who searches within himself, discovers that he can connect to this higher consciousness. Hill claimed that this connection happens when the conscious mind and subconscious enter into perfect harmony. In this state, human thought ceases to be only thought and becomes divine channel. It is in this silent flow that brilliant ideas arise, solutions appear, and synchronicity guides the steps. Hill understood that the hidden secret was not to ask the universe, but to become one with it. True prayer is not spoken, it is felt. And when man feels in alignment with the whole, the impossible dissolves. If you wish to learn to listen to this inner voice and walk with the infinite intelligence, go ahead. In the next block, I will reveal how Hill saw the hidden power of the subconscious. Hill discovered that the subconscious is the silent guardian between man and infinite intelligence. He receives every thought, every emotion, and every belief, and transforms them into vibrations that shape reality. What you accept emotionally, the subconscious records as absolute truth, and the universe responds to that recording. That is why many fail. They desire with the mind, but doubt with the heart. Hill taught that the subconscious does not distinguish the real from the imagined. It only obeys the dominant frequency. When man learns to print faith, purpose, and clear mental images, he becomes the architect of his own destiny. This was the secret that Hill codified in his words. The understanding that all success is born inside, before it blossoms outside. Mastering the subconscious is dominating the axis between the human and the divine. It is taking control of the invisible, and the one who controls the invisible inevitably rules the visible. If you want to understand how to program your subconscious to create the life you imagine, stay with me. In the next block, I will reveal how Hill applied this power to shape fate. Hill understood that fate is not an accident, but a silent construction. Each thought fed with emotion is an invisible brick that raises the future. He observed that the most successful men did not expect favorable circumstances. They created them. This creation began in the mind but was sustained by emotional discipline. Hill taught that the power to shape fate does not require physical strength, but vibrational constancy. When the mind holds a firm image of the goal and emotion vibrates in harmony with that image, reality inevitably bends. Everything that is kept in focus and faith materializes. Hill said that the man who dominates his own internal state becomes unbeatable, for no external force can destabilize what is already anchored in inner certainty. Shaping destiny is, therefore, an act of energetic domain, a partnership between thought, feeling, and conscious action. If you want to find out how Hill taught you to maintain this vibrational constancy, go ahead with me. In the next block, I will reveal the secret about the energy that underpins all achievements. Hill claimed that all creation is moved by an invisible energy force, spiritual enthusiasm. It is not just a passing motivation, but a continuous vibration born from inner certainty. When man aligns himself with a true purpose, he becomes a conductor of that energy. This life force is the link between vision and realization. Hill realized that the most powerful men in the world were not the smartest, but the most connected to the source of their own faith, their own inner flame. This energy, when directed with pure intention, magnetizes people, opportunities, and paths. The secret that Hill did not record in words was this: the universe does not respond to the force of ambition, but to the purity of intention. The heart aligned with the purpose becomes an irresistible magnetic field, and the more intense the emotion, the faster the manifestation. This is the invisible current that moves human destiny. If you want to understand how to awaken and sustain this creative energy within yourself, come with me. In the next and last block, I will reveal the outcome of this secret, the final truth that Hill kept silent. In the twilight of his life, Napoleon Hill understood that the greatest power is not in words, but in silence between them. The hidden secret he never wrote was simple, but sacred. Man is the very manifestation of God in action. Hill realized that every thought is a divine spark seeking form. When the human mind aligns itself with love, faith, and purpose, it becomes the channel through which the Creator experiences the material world. So he did not reveal everything, because he knew that this power requires consciousness, and not just desire. The ultimate truth is this: everything you seek is already within you. Wealth, peace, success, and enlightenment are not distant goals, but expressions of what you already are in essence. When man awakens to this truth, the quest ends, and conscious creation begins. This is the secret that Hill carried in silence: the power of being, not just having. Now it is your turn. Awaken the power that dwells in your mind. Become the creator of reality itself. If this message resonated with you, share it. Sign up and inspire others to discover the secret that Napoleon Hill left behind.